Hi, I'm Lex and welcome to my channel. Um, Today I will be talking about my inventory, my numbers and things like that. My makeup collection is like embarrassingly big, so I don't think I'll be taking pictures or talking through my whole collection really because that would take an insurmountable amount of effort. Um, and I'm not ready for that. I'm aware kind of in my head of everything that I have, and it helps to look through my spreadsheets and things like that, and I definitely cycle through a lot of my makeup. I just don't know if I'm ready to see all of it like separated out into categories, if you know what I mean. I'm working on obviously making my collection smaller. Project planning is a really big part of that, and I would love to eventually be able to fit all of my collection into just my one big makeup box. Um, but yeah, that's like a long-term goal. Talking through my inventory numbers though, I can tell you what my sort of goals are for this year. I won't necessarily be really going over my numbers from last year. I will try and link my last inventory video. If not, I have a playlist that just has that one video in it really. I haven't talked about my inventory too much. I haven't really been tracking my inventory for too long, so yeah, hopefully that link's okay, or like you can find the playlist okay. Um, but let's get into it. Starting with the makeup side of things, and then we'll move on to like the beauty, etc. So in terms of my face bases and primers, my goal is to have two. I currently have four. Not too bad, and I do think that by the end of the year I will have used up two because there is one that has barely anything in it and one that is in my 26 and 2026. So that'll hopefully be done. As for eye bases, I'm also aiming to have two because I think two is like a reasonable number, you know. I currently have 11. It's because I use concealers and things as eye bases, not as concealers. I don't really wear a lot of like concealer foundation style makeup. Um, so yeah, those will take me a million years to use up, but that's okay. I want to say we're making progress, but honestly, last time I did my numbers, I had 6, and somehow we've gone up to 11, so I don't know how that's happened. I think I've had quite a few free samples of concealers and things, so I'll use them up. It's fine. For face powders, I'm aiming to have 5 because I get through face powders really quickly, and I think sometimes you need a little bit of variety. Like some powders are way more mattifying than others. Um, and I currently have 9. I definitely think that if I don't buy any more powders, I could get this down to 5 by the end of the year. I think that's reasonable, that's doable. It's just whether I'll be able to stop myself from buying more because I have this thing where I'm like, oh, I get through powders so fast, I need to keep buying more and more and more. Um, Sadly, 3 of those powders are powders that just leave a really bad white cast, and I'm not able to use them as powders. I've been using them as lid setting shades. But because my palette that I'm panning this year is very neutral and it has a lot of lid setting shades, I'm not going to be getting through those a lot. So I'm hoping that's not like the thing that sticks in my category for like a really long time, but it might just be. As for bronzers, I would like to have 5. I currently have 9. I don't really know how I have 9 bronzers. In my head, I can only really think of 3, but I think that just shows that they're probably new products that I haven't used yet, and that's why I don't really remember that they exist. So no more bronzers for me, that's for sure. Um, for blush, I would like to aim to have 20 blushes. That may seem like a lot, but I really like having a variety, and I think having a spectrum of colors is always really good, and I'd like to have the freedom to have maybe like a fun color that I'd only really wear on special occasions, like a purple or like a really bright red or an orange. You know, I love those kind of colors. I like experimenting with them. I currently have 63 blushes, like individual pans of blush, and considering how long it's gonna take me to get through the blush I'm currently working on, like how long it's gonna take me to hit pan on just that one blush, this is like a million years of blush in my collection. and that's wild. I should not be buying any more blush. For highlight, I'd also like 20 for the same reason. I like variety. I like having different highlights. I like purple, pink, blue highlights. It's yeah, it's nice to have some interesting ones rather than just the plain champagne colors. Um, but I currently have 55. Not as bad as my blush collection, but still pretty bad, especially since highlight is something you use such a small amount of that you're gonna take ages getting through any of them. For eyeshadow, I'd like to have 500 individual pans of eyeshadow. I think that's reasonable. I think that's a good collection. It's still a big collection, but I currently have 789. Probably a few too many. I'm glad that I'll hopefully be getting a few eyeshadows out of my collection this year, because last year, even though I hit pan on quite a few things, nothing was really leaving my collection. If I do manage to get through my pan that palette, that'll be 12 less eyeshadows going into next year, which is gonna be great. It's gonna be a big weight off my my inventory. Then my lip products I have split into sort of my makeup day lip products, so things that have a bit of color, glossy things, anything like that. Um, and for those lip products, I'd like to have 50 so that I can have a good range, some reds, some pinks, some oranges, some plain glosses, lipsticks, whatever, you know? Good range across the board. I currently have 195. How did that happen? Who's to say? I do know that a lot of them are either partially used or very small products, so I think I could probably get through them pretty decently fast. Um, I just need to knuckle down and remember that they exist, because my big issue with anything that's sort of like colored or glossy or anything like that is that I will just kind of forget about it and I won't focus on one product, or I'll use it really sporadically, so I won't take it with me places. I'll forget to reapply. Um, and I just need to get over that. I need to just like commit. I've been doing pretty well with the gloss that I have in my rolling project pan at the moment. Like, that has gotten a good amount of reapplications every time I've taken it out with me, so that's been a positive. Will it still take me a million years to finish? Yes, but that's fine. As for lip balms, I'd like to have 20, just because I think you can never have enough lip balms. They're really useful, and I just like having one in every bag, every pocket. Um, I currently have 63, which is probably too many lip balms, but I will be getting through them, and hopefully I can give some to my dad, because he uh, uses like the fun flavored lip balms, the fun scented lip balms sometimes. He just has the one though, and he'll go through it until it's done, and then he'll ask me for another one. I do tend to also try and stick to lip balms until they're finished, so I don't have like 63 open lip balms at any one time. So most of mine are still sealed, still brand new, whatever. As for my miscellaneous products, that's usually things like eyeliners, water activated liners, any sort of fun stuff, face glitter, just whatever. I want to have 25. I think that's a good range of stuff. It's some fun eyeliners, maybe whatever. Um, and I currently have 25, so that is a goal met. I'm just hoping to keep it that way across the rest of the year. The reason that that's gone down and is now a green category for me is because I used up um, at least one eyeliner last year, a black eyeliner, and I think I gave one away to my mum, potentially. Black eyeliners are something we get through really quickly, and I feel like maybe it's not even necessary to include my black eyeliner in my inventory, because it's just a kind of constant staple. Like, I don't really track my mascaras because that's just something I'm going to use every time, and I feel like it should probably be the same for my black eyeliner because I just use it so often that I'm going to get through it eventually anyway. Regardless. Um, for body glitters, I'd like to have 5, because I think then I can have, you know, a gold, a silver, and a couple backups, without feeling like overwhelmed and like it's too much. Body glitter is not usually something that can go off, so I'm not too bothered about it. And again, it's not going on my face, so it's not like it has to be super mega sterile. It's okay if it's a little old or a little, you know, whatever. I currently have 8 body glitters, and As far as I know, I like them all. I don't think most of them are particularly big, so I could potentially use them up rather quickly. It's just the fact that I will need to like wait until the summer to use them when I have like my arms out or like go on holiday or anything like that, when I can actually use those body glitters. For hand creams, I wouldn't mind having 10. I think 10 is a good amount, especially because hand creams are quite small and I can pop one in my bag, my pocket, again, carry it with me everywhere. So I wouldn't mind having 10 just for some um, like backups, variety, whatever. I currently have 26. One of the ones I'm using at the moment is definitely going to get finished. There's another one I'm hoping to get done by the end of my 50 Shades of Black project, and one that I'm hoping to get done by the end of the year. Because I don't buy anymore, I think I should be finishing my hand creams off pretty fast. For perfumes, my goal is 20. I think that's also a good range of perfumes, and a lot of the perfumes I buy aren't super mega massive anyway. I currently have 32 perfumes, which is just a little over, but some of them are samples, so I'll use those up really quickly. There's a couple that are like halfway done, or I've used quite a bit of, so those should be finished. And there's definitely a few perfumes in my 26 and 2026, so those will improve my numbers a little bit. For body sprays, I'd like to have 10 just because body sprays tend to be bigger, and I'd like to have less of them so I can rotate through them faster. Body sprays are really easy for me to get my hands on, and I don't necessarily usually mind what they smell like compared to my perfumes. I'm going to be more picky with my perfumes. And I currently do have 10 body sprays, so good going. Another goal met. For nail polish, I think I'd like to have 50 nail polishes. This doesn't include my top and base coats, but it just does include every single color, glitter, any other type of polish. I have not just normal nail polishes, but I have a lot of gel polishes as well. And at the moment I have 76, which is just a bit over my number. Nail polishes are something that takes a long time to use up. And I think if I just go overboard and have too much polish, I'm just gonna get like decision fatigue and I won't be able to pick which colors I want. I don't need 13 shades of pink, you know? As for my false nails, I think I'd like 30 pairs of false nails. This is a number that I don't know if it's entirely accurate because I haven't actually looked over my false nails in a little while, but supposedly I have 33. I think some of the nails that I used recently, because I tend to reuse them, but I think some of the ones that I have used recently got a little bent out of shape or like chipped or cracked or whatever, so some of them have definitely been filtered out. I might have reached my 30 goal without realizing because I just haven't counted super recently. We will see. Let's move on to more of my beauty products. With these, I don't count the ones that I'm currently using, I only count the backups I have stored, so this works a little bit differently. I count all of my makeup, you know, as it is, whereas my beauty products, if I'm currently using them, if they're in my bathroom, or whatever, then they're not counted in my inventory. I only count my backups. For conditioners or hair masks, anything that would need to be rinsed out afterwards, after washing, the goal is to have 5. I currently have 11. I think I have a lot of leave-in conditioners. I have some hair oils and things like that that I could get used up, so that number will probably improve by the end of the year. I've not bought too many hair products recently. As for leave-in hair treatments and things like that, my goal is 5. I have 11 again. I don't know how that's worked out. Yeah, I have a lot of hair masks. I have a lot of different things. It's just how it goes. As for shampoos, I think I'd like a maximum of 5 backup shampoos. I currently have 2, which is pretty good going. I know that I have 2 on the go at the moment, and then I have 2 backup shampoos, so that's pretty alright in my opinion. As long as I don't have like, you know, too many shampoos, because especially they come in big bottles and take up a lot of room, I don't think it's that bad. For toners, I would like to have a maximum of 3 backup toners. I currently have 0. I'm using my last toner right now, and I know it'll last me a while, so I probably won't go out my way to buy backups just yet, but I don't have any backup toners, so once this one runs out, I'm just repurchasing straight away. All of my face creams and serums are split into SPF or not SPF. For SPF face creams or things, I have a goal of 5. I currently actually have 10. The thing with SPFs is I don't want to have too many because they go off really easily. They expire fast, and then when they're expired, the SPF isn't very effective. So I want to get through those as fast as possible so I don't have a massive backlog of SPFs that are going to expire on me. And for my non-SPF creams, I'd also like to have 5. I currently have 23. I know that I have a couple of serums that I started using that I never finished, but other than that, there is a lot of creams that I just haven't opened or haven't used at all that I should get on top of. The non-SPF stuff is what I tend to use either when I'm not leaving the house at all, so I won't be getting any sun, or when I'm going to sleep. But if I'm going outside, and I'm going to be outside for any period of time at all, I put an SPF cream on in the morning before I do my makeup. Gotta stay safe, gotta sunscreen up, you know? For face scrubs, I'd like to have maximum of 3. I currently have 4. I don't think face scrubs are usually particularly big, but I know I have 2 absolutely massive ones that'll take a while to use up. For face washes, I'd also like to have 5. I think 5 is just a good number for most, like, skincare stuff, to be honest. Like, you don't need that much of anything. But I currently have 8 face washes. And they're all pretty big face washes, so again, I don't know how many I'll get through this year. With cuticle oil, I'd like to have maximum of 3. I currently only have 1, because I have 1 on the go in my room, 1 on the go in my car, and then 1 backup. So it's really not that terrible. I think I'm going to try and phase cuticle oils out, really. I don't think they do that much for my nails. Personally speaking, just using hand cream is probably about as effective as using a cuticle oil. I don't know. I'm not a nail expert. Then for shaving foams or whip soaps, because I use whip soaps as shaving foams most of the time, I want a maximum of 3. I just have 1 backup. I've got one of that I'm using right now and 1 backup, so that's not too terrible. I will need to buy some more soon, but I find that whip soap is just rather expensive. If you have any affordable whip soap recommendations or like anything like that, let me know. The ones I bought recently smell really good. One of them is rhubarb and custard scented or like something like that. It's very wintry. But I don't know the name of the brand and it's not on the packaging anywhere, so who knows. For body scrubs, I'd like to have a maximum of 3. I currently only have 1 body scrub left. I might have to buy another replacement because the one that I'm getting through at the moment is like a decent size, but the backup is teeny tiny. So I'll get through that in like 1 or 2 uses. For body lotions, I want 5. I have 12. I think a lot of them are pretty small body lotions, but the body lotion that I'm using right now is my XBC Aqueous Cream, and you genuinely only need the tiniest amount of this. It is like so emollient that you can cover like your whole body with like the tiniest bit of cream. This is honestly one of my favorite things ever. I think a tub this size costs like £1 to £2. You can find them in Poundland as well, actually, which is really useful. They used to sell them in Home Bargains. I don't know if they still do. But the Aqueous Cream specifically is really, really good for if you have like eczema or if you've got KP on your arms or anything like that. Like I have really, really bad KP on my upper arms, and when I get kind of like flare-ups of that, when it becomes really obvious to me and I know that I should probably do something about it, I just use this for a little while, and it's like fragrance free. It's really, really good. It's pretty moisturizing, but it doesn't like clog your pores or anything, and it really, really clears up my KP. This isn't sponsored. If I was sponsored by Aqueous Cream, that would be like a dream come true, because I do swear by this. It's really useful, it's really cheap, and it's just moisturizing. Anyway, because that's going to take so long to use up, I don't know how many body lotions I'll actually be able to get through this year, but hopefully enough. For deodorant, I'd like to have 5 maximum. that still seems like a big number to me, but my goals are more based on how many I currently own than my actual dream number of products. I'm sure once I reach these goals, I'll probably shift the goalposts so that I have new goals to reach. But I currently have 10 deodorants, which is double my goal. I don't know why, I just keep trying out deodorants, and sometimes they suck, and I just buy more different ones all the time. Um, I haven't found, like, the one, you know? I want a deodorant that's, like, sustainable, doesn't stain my clothes, but actually makes me smell good. And that is apparently impossible. Because all of the deodorants that are effective and don't stain my clothes are very much not sustainable. All of the sustainable deodorants either leave like such terrible residue or like yellow my white shirts, or they don't work and I feel stinky. So if you know a really good deodorant that's like all of those things, drop a comment. Give me some suggestions. For bars of soap, I want 5 maximum. I have 19. I have 19 bars of soap. I know that some of those are pretty old as well, because I have bars of soap from when I last went to Bailey's DIY, and I bulk bought soap because it was 25p per bar of soap. Pink lemonade scented soap as well, so, you know, it's a fun soap, it's not just boring soap. I am working through a few soaps, though, at the moment, so hopefully, those numbers will go down by the end of the year a little bit. As for foot packs, I kind of don't want any of those in my collection. I really want to move away from single-use products. I'm not a big fan, and I just think that it's so much waste from the packaging and the product itself, and I don't think it makes enough of a difference to warrant having those things specifically. Like, why would I buy a foot pack when I can just put some moisturizer on my feet, you know? Why would I buy a face mask in a single-use, like, sheet mask style packaging when I can either buy face masks that come in multi-use, like, big tubs or like, squeezy tubes or anything, something that's a bit more recyclable. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. So I want 0 foot packs. I currently have 5 to get through. They will take me a while because firstly I don't use a foot pack every day, obviously. But even when I open one up, it lasts me a really, really long time because there is so much like serum and stuff in them that I'll just like I'll take a little while using that up, you know? Then for a hand pack, for hand packs I also want 0. I currently have 2. Those won't take me as long to finish up, I don't think. Perhaps my mum will want one. She's obsessed with hand packs and hand creams and everything hand related. She's got some very dry hands, you know. For multi-use face masks, I would like 5. So anything that's in a pot, in a squeezy tube, something that it will last a while, you know. I currently have 7, which is just a couple too many. It's not too bad, you know. I'm currently trying to get through my oldest one, which is my Diego Della Palma youth massage mask. And it's a really, really nice product, but goddamn does my hair stick to it, you know? For sheet masks, I'd like to have 0. I have 64. It seems like a lot, but unlike the foot packs and the whatever, sheet masks tend to be just like a one and done. Like, yeah, there's usually a lot of serum in them, but then I'll just like end up using that serum like on my body or use it on my face over the course of the week, and then it doesn't really impede me like doing another face mask the week after, you know what I mean? Because I typically try and do a face mask like once a week. I think that's a good balance of like not doing it so often that it seems like a chore, but doing it often enough where I'm getting use out of my stuff and it feels like a nice little like self-care pamper moment. For room sprays, I would like to have a maximum of 3. I currently have 6. I can't use room sprays in my room because I have a pet snake and snakes are very sensitive to scents. So I instead use them as sort of like clothing body sprays when I'm out and about. So I take one to work, that type of thing. Yeah, they just take forever for me to get through because they're pretty big. Like the one I'm working on right now is like 500 mils, and I use it maybe like once a week, if I remember. I'm really, really bad at remembering to use them. And then finally for shower gels, I would like 0, which sounds like a weird thing to say, but basically I don't want any shower gels in my personal like inventory in my backups, because we also just have shared house shower gels, and we always have at least one of those in the household backup. So I don't want to take up space in my cupboards for a shower gel when there is already like backup shower gels elsewhere. So I currently have 9 shower gels, and once those are gone, I'm just not going to buy shower gel. I still have like bar soap and things like that, but also we just have household shower gels that get replenished as needed instead of having a bunch of backups. So yeah, that's the play. Those are all of my numbers. Honestly, out of all of my categories, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 green categories, which isn't terrible. I don't think that's that bad. I still need to get through a heck ton of products, but honestly, that's alright. I'm just gonna keep working through them and see how it goes. I'm not too stressed about it, honestly. Like, it's just interesting to me to see what I have and make sure that I keep on top of my numbers. And obviously a lot of these, especially the makeup categories, keep growing. So I'd like to really focus on not buying stuff this year. Not in like a no-buy sense, but just in like a, let's remember how much we actually have. Let's remember next time that we have 63 blushes, and we don't need a 64th. Anyways, thank you so much for being here with me. I hope this has given you a little bit of an insight into my collection, and I will see you all in my next update. Hope you have a good day. Bye!